Welcome back, dear viewers. We are back again with another edition on wellness. Happy New Year. It's the New Year, and I'm just curious on what are you all up to this New Year? What are your plans? What are your big goals? My name is Rachel Kanyana, and I'm a communication strategist and specialist. And in the studio today, I'm with none other than the amazing
Dr. Victoria Mwebe Katasi, your health and wellness expert and a specialist treating children with brain and spine cancers. Welcome back again to our channel and Happy New Year. So today we are going to talk about how to build a perfect routine through habit stacking. So I do not want you to get scared by the word perfect, because what we are really looking for is not perfection but consistency. Consistency is what actually gives us results. So maybe we'll say how to build a consistent routine through habit stacking. Have you ever tried to adopt a new habit, Rachel? Are there times you've woken up and like now it's the new year, it's the time where people actually set all these big goals of, the commonest, and I think which is always the biggest joke on the internet, is about workouts.
That is true.
Getting into shape. Because we are coming from the festivities, people have eaten a lot of cake, and a lot of food that has been going around, and less workouts in this period. Gyms are closed, so people are setting goals of within the next 1 month or 2 months, I should have dropped 6 kilograms of weight. And you're looking at them and thinking, do you even know what it takes to drop 1 kilogram of weight?
Exactly,
It's not just I'm going to drop it, but the amount of discipline
that is required.
So this is why we are here today to talk about something like this. So how can you actually build a good habit, and a couple of them, which is what habit stacking really is, and be consistent as you are actually building more and more of these habits.
I'm just so curious to see what you have shared for us, because to be honest, I've been one of those people who, you try to build a habit, but then you fall out again, you try again, you fall out. So you've pointed out about consistency, which I believe to be true for sure. I'm just curious on what you have for us, really.
Okay, so let me get right in and, cure you of the curiosity. So, we are going to look at a couple of steps that you can take for anyone out there who's listening to us. So, of course, the first step would be to having to decide on the habit that you want to build or acquire.
Right.
And when you've gotten to it and that's out of the way, then you want to start. And starting, we mean do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So take practical steps. And maybe your habit is, I want to get into, daily workouts and make working out a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and maybe the reason that you want to start working out, apart from it being a lifestyle, is you want to manage your weight. So maybe I want to lose weight. So it's a body transformation of sorts. Sometimes, we are plagued by illnesses like hypertension. There are things we call lifestyle diseases, hypertension, obesity.
Yeah, actually, sorry to cut you on that very note. There is a series on the channel. You'll check it out. It's called The Lifestyle Diseases, where Dr. Victoria was talking about different kinds of lifestyle diseases. So I wanted to slide that in so you don't get to miss it.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Yeah, so some people actually are forced to pick up a habit of working out and, eating healthy because of a lifestyle disease.
Yeah.
So we've said start small. So let's say your habit is going to the gym or working out. It could be a home workout. Starting small means you may decide that I will work out 3 days a week, but on these 3 days a week, I will start with a 15-minute workout.
Yeah.
And depending on your ability at that point, it may even be that you're not able to jump at this point.
Yeah.
So you can start with a walk and say, I will walk for 30 minutes around the block every day after work. And then, the more flexible and adaptable you become, you're then able to actually push this up and say from 30 minutes, we can make an hour.
Yeah.
And for someone who's never able to jump, now I can do 5 jumps in the morning when I wake up.
Yeah.
And at the end of 2 months, you're probably jumping like 25 jumps and a higher, surface.
Yeah.
So start small. What is important is that you actually start.
Yeah,
and
true.
you're consistent.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that 100%. I think that like you say, just start. The idea is to start. Maybe start small, because I think what puts most people off when they try to start, they want to go all in. You know, you want to start lifting weight, but then you're going for all the heavy weights, and then your body's going to ache, and you're like, oh no, maybe this is not for me or something. But really, it's because you push yourself way too far, and yet you're just starting out. So when you're starting out, start small. I think that's really good. Thank you.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And then the next step would be pick a trigger, or what you could call a habit anchor.
Yeah.
So are there some things that you do on a daily basis, and you consistently will do them? There are some things that you cannot do without, maybe, let's say.
Yeah.
For a lady, you will not do without brushing your hair if it's not plaited, because
Yeah.
if you're somebody responsible, you're not going to walk out with your hair in different directions all over the place.
True.
You will not do without brushing your teeth, whether you're a gentleman or, a lady. That
Yeah.
is just part of daily grooming, that I will brush my teeth. Okay, I will put on deodorant. I will Vaseline myself. Okay, and for some people, it's that morning coffee.
I am guilty of that.
It kickstarts my day. So I will not do without a morning coffee, or I cannot operate in the morning.
Yeah.
So many different things that
Sure.
we attach ourselves to. Okay, it's a morning shower. So find something that is consistent in your life, something that you do daily. So like, I take a shower, I brush, and attach this habit that you want to learn, if it's possible, to it. Okay, so it could be that I want to work out in the morning. Now you can attach your working out to a morning shower, because anyway, when you work out, you sweat,
Yeah.
so you automatically have to shower.
Yeah.
But there are people who just cannot feel comfortable without having a shower. I mean, if you want to walk out of the house and you feel like you're smelling, you have to do some
Yes.
sort of showering.
Showering.
Even if you're showering in parts, you have to do some sort of showering.
Yeah.
So now the catch is, I will not shower before I work out.
Yeah.
So I attach my morning shower to a workout.
To a workout. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to stack that up. Yeah. Okay.
Have you had any experience with that, Rachel?
I've not particularly done that, like doing it as an anchor, but for sure there are habits, as you were pointing out, that I just do on a daily basis, like, having my morning coffee. But also I'm someone who is now currently working out in the morning. I used to work out in the evening, but then my mentor told me the best workouts are really in the morning. If you have the time, try. So I always, first thing in the morning before I do anything, wake up, brush my teeth, put on my gym outfit, go work out, and then from there start on my day. Actually, I do have my coffee after my workout now. Yeah.
So the workout is the motivation to be able to have your coffee.
Yes. So I think I was doing it unconsciously, like not really, thinking about it like that.
Okay. So there we have it. We have seen get an anchor, and that will help you to stick to the habit.
Stick to the habit, yeah.
So then the third step would be to organize your environment in a way that it supports the habit that you're trying to acquire.
That.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that it aligns with what you want to do. So it could be that you are a creative person,
Yeah.
and maybe what you want to do is write,
Yeah.
or it is develop music, or people who work with the arts in the art section where you're trying to design things,
Yeah.
and you want a space that is a creative space. Okay, it could be that you're going to bring in a few natural plants, and maybe have your desk seated somewhere near a window where you can gaze out into a field and some trees if you're lucky. And you're living in the middle of the city. Things that drive your inspiration and your creativity. So for whatever the habit is. So if your habit is like working out in the morning, okay, this is the time to take those workout clothes and shoes out of the closet before you go to bed.
Sure.
And have your workout outfit just somewhere there next to your bed. So that when you wake up, it's one of the first things you see.
Yeah.
And this kind of reminds you, but also, I don't want to say it gives you a guilty conscience, but let's say it inspires you to actually go out and do what it is that you plan to do, which is work out.
I mean, it's a good reminder, to get to do what you planned out to do. Okay, that's a nice one. I would really love to try that for one of my habits. In the future for sure.
Yeah. So like for me, one of the things that, one of the habits that I have had previously, but over time because of work, sometimes I fall out of some of the habits that I have. But knowing that these are things that are good for me, of course, I try to kind of always bring them back.
Yeah.
So I like to journal.
Mm.
And for me, especially early in the morning, like my first 45 minutes, I like to just sit and think through either where am I right now in my life? Where am I going? Who am I? What am I doing? What are my goals? What are my dreams? Or just think through yesterday, okay? How did I actually run my clinic? What is that I could have done better? When I walk out today, how do I want to show up in the world? And sometimes it's just like the things that are bothering me. Like maybe I had a feud with somebody, like maybe like recently we've been in festivities and we've been hanging around family.
Yes.
Okay. And maybe someone offended you. And it may not even be something big, you know, but sometimes you get triggered by like maybe your siblings or something, or someone said something or did something. And you may not notice that, you know, this has triggered me so much. But at a certain point when you think about it, you're like, okay, so I'm calling this person less. We're not talking as much as we used to talk. Why?
Yeah.
So these mornings, I use them to sit down and think through, and I'm like, okay, the truth is, on that day, when this brother of mine made this comment, when we talked and he said this, I was not amused. And I didn't feel good about it. You know, and I explore those emotions and feelings so that then I can work through the situation and get to a good place.
True.
Yeah, so sometimes I notice that when I'm so busy and then I fail to probably get up on time, sometimes I fail to do something like this. And if this goes on for a long time, like maybe a month or two, I suddenly realize that I am actually holding a lot of petty things in my mind. One day I think about it, I'm like, okay, I just feel generally anxious or I just feel generally irritable. It's because I haven't journaled.
You have it, yeah.
And so for me, I have known that this is something that works. So what I do is I keep my journal next to my bed.
Literally.
Where my bed is, there's a small carpet there.
Yeah.
And my journal sleeps on that carpet. When I come from work, it comes out of the bag and goes to the bedroom on the carpet.
Yeah.
When I wake up in the morning, the journal is there with a pen. So I pick it up, sit, write, and then get out of bed and do some other things that I need to do.
I think that's a very good example to set your example, rather to set your environment up to help you to support that habit that you're trying to build. Yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing that. I was just not curious really. I wanted you to talk more about the journaling, but I feel like it is such a broad topic. I would love for us to do a video on just that alone. Yeah, because you were saying, and you know, I had one or two things that I wanted to ask, but because of time, I would love for us to do a video on that maybe in the future.
Yeah, surely sometime this year, maybe soon. We'll talk about it, since we're actually, you know, also promoting our digital journals and, you know, the print journals, so that you know how to use the journals that you're going to get.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay, so the other step would be to track your progress. Because if you do not track what you're doing, you do not know how much, you know, ground you've covered, how much you have grown in that habit. And you will not actually know if you are making mistakes or you have actually gone off the direction and you're going into a different direction. You've taken a tangent somewhere else.
Yeah.
So track your progress. And there are several ways that you can actually track your progress. The ones that I find easiest for me is to use an actual tracker.
Right.
And so there are habit trackers, and we also have a habit tracker. And here you'd record the habit that you want. If my habit is to go to bed on time, that's one of the things that I struggle with from time to time, going to bed on time. So I have something that I call a plan of life. Okay, and this is something that was taught to me by my spiritual director. And in this, I organize my day from when I wake up. My wake-up time ideally is 4:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And my bedtime is ideally 10 p.m. However, that entire day, I'm going to divide it into sections and say, I wake up 4:30 a.m. When I wake up, what do I do? So maybe within 5 minutes, 4:35, I'm journaling for 45 minutes. And then maybe the next 20 minutes or 20 to 30 minutes is time to go and shower and get ready. Okay, and then have time to meditate, get to work at this time, you know, have lunch at this time, do a workout later at this time, and have each of those times put down. So for the habit that I'm trying to build, if my habit is to go to bed on time and I know my bedtime is 10 p.m. and I have set it at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Even my schedule says 10 p.m. So on that habit, every night before I go to bed, I do a self-reflection and I track and I say, okay, so this is what I've done today, and this is how my day went. What's the time? Is it 10 p.m.?
Yeah.
Or no, now it is 11:30 p.m. So I know I have gone to bed 1.5 hours late. Why have I gone to bed later
Late.
than I should? Okay, and if it's really late and I'm not able to actually do the tracking, when I wake up in the morning and I'm journaling,
Yeah.
it's one of the first things I'll do. What time did I go to bed yesterday? Why
Yeah.
did I go to bed late? Okay, so that then I'm able to remove what that is hindering me from going to bed. Sometimes it's inevitable. Maybe I got caught up in hospital because I had an emergency.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
most times it's because you lost track of time doing things that are not important. Like
Yeah.
social media, watching TikTok or Instagram.
Tell me
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
So then I know, okay, in this building, a habit of going to bed on time,
Mm.
I have to reduce the amount of time I spend on social media.
Mm.
And that is how you track your progress. Because then you're able to see what is it that hinders me from actually achieving the goal that I want, or getting the habit, and growing. And how can I overcome that
Yeah.
for me to be able to make this consistent? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, now that you're saying that, like Dr. Victoria pointed out, part of the products that we do have is a habit tracker. For that, we currently have it in a digital format. But I'm going to show you this fit tracker. So, in relation to, I would love for you to explain to our viewers in relation to physical workouts. Maybe someone has a goal of losing weight. How can they use this tracker, this habit tracker, fit tracker to, track, maybe also plan that for that particular goal of losing weight?
Okay, so when we are looking at losing weight, there are two important aspects that you need to take care of.
Yeah.
One is your nutrition, and like we say, 80% is nutrition for weight management, and 20% is your activity.
Oh, okay,
So the
right.
workout.
Yeah.
So this fit tracker basically looks at the aspect of workout. However, we also have a tracker that includes a food journal tracker where you can actually track the meals that you're eating.
Right.
So for the fit tracker, when you start to use it, okay, the first day that you use it, you take body measurements, and we've put a page there for you with all the measurements that you need to take. Okay, so you'll get a tape measure and, take the circumference of your arms, of your chest, of your waist, of your thighs and everything. Because as you're losing weight, you're also interested in really the best way to actually tell effective weight loss is through fat loss. And that's what is the most effective way to lose weight. You don't want to lose mass, you want to lose fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, of course, there are other things that you can use, like vernier calipers, but those may be more complicated for a lot of people. So we've made it simple, and we just use a tape measure. Instead of just measuring your weight on a scale, yes, that one you can also do and record it, but also measure the different parts of your body, because as the fat reduces, that thickness also reduces.
Reduce it. Yeah.
So then we have a separate page for where you're going to record the workouts that you do.
Yeah.
So if today, Monday, okay, I go and work out. If it's a full body workout, you will record it as a full body workout, and you're going to record the particular exercises that you have done. Okay, so if I had some jumping jacks, you record how many jumping jacks you did. Because you have a section for reps. Reps means the repetitions that you're doing. If you're using weights and you're doing today an upper body workout, okay, there's space for you to record the particular exercises you're doing. Like if you're doing a shoulder press or a chest press, you'll put the exercise as a shoulder press. You'll put the weight that you have used. Like maybe I'm using 12.5 kgs or 15 kgs for my shoulder press. And the repetitions that you have done, maybe I am doing this exercise, maybe 15 repetitions and the number of sets. Okay, so maybe I'm doing 3 sets or 4 sets or 5 sets. So for every set, I've done 15 repetitions and I've carried 15 kilogram weight for my shoulder press. So that every week you review. Last week when I did my upper body workout, what were the weights I was using, what were the repetitions, what were the sets.
Yeah.
So you keep building on. If you're able to actually increase the weight, I was at 15. Now maybe 2 months later, I'm at 17 or I'm at 20. Okay. And that is how you also get gains in your muscle growth as you're actually losing the weight. Yes.
Okay, this is really interesting. I personally love this product so much. I would definitely recommend it. It's also, compact, travel size friendly. The paper quality is top notch. So, I don't see why you shouldn't be getting yourself one. And we also have it in digital format. So in any case, maybe you are really far, you say you can't order for a physical product. We didn't leave you all out. We catered for each and every one of you. So we do have a digital product. Feel free to order for yourself one. The link will be in the description box below, and any further information on how you can get yourself one. So yeah, the Fit Tracker and also the Habit Tracker, they are both available. So yeah, what else do you have for us, Dr. Victoria?
Okay, so then in this process of where we are actually building a good habit and, driving towards being consistent, and that's, you know, having a number of good habits, the habit stacking.
Yeah.
The other step that would be very important to consider is for you to remember that you're human, plan for fails.
Right.
Because, yes, like we said, to error is human.
Mm.
And no matter how good you are at something, you were not that good when you started. Okay?
Right.
That it takes time for you to become very good at something. It takes a number of years and hours for people to become experts, even in their fields.
Yeah,
And
true.
for you to become an expert in something, you have gone through a lot of sweating, blood and crying tears. So it's the same thing with building habits. Sometimes you'll fail. But
Okay.
what is important is, what do you do when you fail? Okay, don't stay down, don't get discouraged. But
That right there.
again, build systems. And I guess that's where it's important that you need to actually build systems, because when you have a system in place, then you will always know how to get back on your feet.
Right.
I remember recently, as this year was starting, I follow the CEO of MTN, Sylvie Molingi.
Yeah, that lady.
I
Yeah.
find her very inspirational. And I think
She is.
yeah, and one of the things that I think makes me feel like I connect with her is because she's also very much into working out.
Yes.
So when she started Hire, one of the first things she did was go to the gym and organize with her trainer how her training sessions were going to be. For that year, she does a lot of CrossFit.
Yeah.
So one of the things that she said, I remember in one of the videos she made, was things don't go wrong. They start wrong.
Wow.
And so she's like, when you're doing, as you're starting this year, plan for your year, okay? You're not going to reach in the middle of the year and say, things went wrong this year.
No.
They didn't go wrong.
They
You just
started
didn't
wrong.
plan. They started wrong
Yeah.
because you didn't plan. So, when you're talking about you're going to have to fail, yes, we will fail, but
Yeah.
planning is putting systems in place. So if I fail to do it, how do I get back on my feet? Because there's a clear roadmap that you've put. This is how I start. This is how I go. This is how I track.
Yeah.
Yeah, have the systems to help you to get up when you fail.
I love that. I mean, I love that. Like you said, we need to plan when we fail. What happens when you fail? Because to be honest, that's one thing that puts most of us off. You start a new habit. Once things don't go the way you plan or the way you think should be going, you get discouraged and you fall off. But then what happens when you fail? I think that's where the catch is. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
So surely look out for early February.
Yeah.
80% of the people who hit the gym this year in the first week and said they are going there, to start a healthy lifestyle, lose weight.
Yeah.
You'll notice that 80% of those people have actually fallen off.
True.
And it's not because they do not have the desire to improve, but because they don't actually have actual systems in place.
Yeah, true.
They did not plan for, okay, after 3 weeks, I realized that the weight hasn't actually gone, because it won't go
It
in
will
3
not
weeks.
go in 3 weeks.
And people I didn't realize that it takes this much effort and you have to keep going. And sometimes
Yeah.
I have pain, but I have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then they get discouraged. And what do? Most people actually fall off the wagon and then keep this goal for next year.
Yeah. It's such a shame. But I think, like you pointed out, one of the points was to, build your anchor. Such things can help them to keep up.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
And I guess part of the systems is also like having an accountability buddy of sorts,
Yes.
which the tracker works as. For me, I feel
Yeah.
like the tracker also works like your accountability buddy if you can't find somebody to do it.
To do it with.
Anyway, so let's get you on to the next step, which is the last step
Yeah.
in this habit stacking. So the last step would actually be to now build your stack, because remember, the idea is that we are trying to develop good habits.
Yeah.
Okay, because we said as human beings we evolve, and so we are trying to evolve and become better people.
Yeah.
So of course there's always something that we can improve in, but the idea is that we're not going to do all of them at once.
At once.
So you may have decided, looked at your life and said, there are these 6 things that in 2025 I have to grow in and improve in.
Yeah.
However, I may not be able to do all of them together. So I'll start with one, and maybe this one is the core, and it makes it easier to do the others. So then when I have really, done this for like maybe the first, 30 days and it's kind of sticking, then I start to build onto the second one, the third,
Yeah.
like that.
Okay, that is interesting. So you stack them one by one. I mean, I feel like it puts off the pressure as well, to help you remain motivated in the process. Amazing, James, right there. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Victoria. I hope you guys had one or two things to learn. Let us know in the comment section below which point stood out the most for you. Are you planning to build a perfect routine? Well, Dr. Victoria said, not necessarily focus on the perfectionism, but also to focus on consistency, because that's where the key, that's the goal, really, that's the key. And yeah, so let us know in the comment section below, what are you habits? What habits are you planning to stack? Or what stack are you planning to build? Thank you for joining us tonight. Any final remarks?
Thank you very much for listening to us. I hope that you have written down those habits that you're trying to, stack, develop, grow in, those things that you want to make you a better person, so that you become the best version of yourself. And that these tips have been helpful and will continue to be helpful along the way as you are becoming that better person that you're evolving in. Thank you very much for listening to us.
Until next time, bye.
Bye.